This your boy Snake Eye, Bomb First TV checking in. Salute to the military for dropping them bombs on that like button before we get lit. Hate crime charges filed in Pittsburgh Synagogue shooting that left 11 dead. Let's get right into it, Bomb First. I don't want to hold you too long. Federal prosecutors have filed hate crime charges against a Pennsylvania man who authorities say stormed a Pittsburgh synagogue and opened fire, killing 11 people. They identified this individual as Robert Bowers, 46, of suburban Baldwin, surrendered to authorities after Saturday morning shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue. It's believed he made anti-Semitic statements during the shooting and targeted Jews in posts on social media that are a focus of the investigation. Bowers faces 29 charges in all in a rampage that left the historic Jewish neighborhood of Squirrel Hill and the rest of the nation stunned. The attack was believed to be the deadliest on the Jewish community in the U.S. history, the Anti-Defamation League said in a statement. These incidents usually occur in other cities. Pittsburgh Public Safety Director Wendell told reporters Saturday. Today, the nightmare has hit home in the city of Pittsburgh. Bowers is charged with 11 counts of using a firearm to commit murder and multiple counts of 2 hate crimes: obstruction of exercise of religious beliefs resulting in death and obstruction of exercise of religious beliefs resulting in bodily injury to a public safety officer, authorities said, citing a criminal complaint which is sealed. The crimes of violence are based upon the federal civil rights law prohibiting hate crime. U.S. Attorney Scott W. Brady and Bob Jones, FBI special agent in charge of the Pittsburgh office, said in a statement. Bowers could face the death penalty if he is convicted. 6 people were injured as a result of the shooting, 4 of whom were police officers who responded to the scene. No children were killed. The actions of Robert Bowers represent the worst of humanity, Brady said. Shots were fired shortly after 10 a.m. Y'all, I got the video for you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This is a sad story. My condolences go out to all the family of the members of the people that got killed, the ones that are in the hospital and got hurt, and to the officers that got hurt. Man, this Bomb First TV. Let me know what y'all think about this deadly situation. Yes, sir.
And Chris, as you mentioned, around the country, concern tonight over today's tragedy drew police to stand guard outside many other synagogues. In Alexandria, Virginia, a police patrol car at the Bethel Hebrew congregation. Another police unit guarded a temple in Atlanta, Georgia. And on a rainy day in New York City, 2 officers flanked the entrance to another house of worship. This tight security is strictly a precaution. There have been no other threats. Those same concerns are being felt here in Chicago. NBC5's Usher Qureshi has more now on how the city and its Jewish residents are reacting.
The Chicago Jewish community is grieving for the many innocent lives lost in today's fatal shooting at the Tree of Life Congregation Synagogue in Pittsburgh.
This is absolutely horrible. Innocent people being killed for absolutely no reason. It's very sad.
The Pittsburgh shooting, now being investigated as a federal hate crime, is just the latest anti-Semitic attack on the Jewish community that has seen a spike in hate crimes over the last few years.
We've brought in the FBI, we've brought in Homeland Security, and have trained people. We've also allocated funds for buildings across the Chicago area in terms of upgrading their security capacities.
Synagogues in Pittsburgh remained on lockdown until the suspect was taken into custody. Here in Chicago, police say they are now paying special attention to Jewish places of worship. Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Superintendent Eddie Johnson released this statement today saying, quote, "Our hearts are with the people of Pittsburgh, the Jewish community, and the families of each of the victims." In the wake of this terrible tragedy, while there are no threats to religious institutions in Chicago at this time, the Chicago Police Department is closely monitoring the situation and providing special attention to all synagogues throughout Chicago. Local Jewish leaders are calling for a solidarity Shabbat for next Saturday, involving all Chicago synagogues.
So the answer to hate is to, in fact, stand, pray together, love together, and be unified in the face of these terrible things.
Usher Qureshi, NBC5.
We're getting a first look here at the suspected killer. This is the individual that law enforcement officers believe was responsible for the deadly shooting today there outside Pittsburgh at a synagogue. Obviously, we've been reporting that he has been taken into custody. There were initial reports that he was taken to the hospital. We're not quite sure if that was because he actually sustained injuries or if it was just for precautionary reasons. But again, he's in law enforcement custody. And then now we have the next phase of the investigation, which will be that interview. We don't know if he will be cooperating with officials, how that interview process will go, if he'll lawyer up immediately. Again, a lot of questions remain. But obviously, as we've been discussing all morning, that may be an opportunity to glean a little bit of insight into what his thinking was, perhaps his motivation going into this. But a lot ahead for investigators as they try to piece together what took place today.
I wonder, James, if there's ever kind of a presumption that he might be a cooperative kind of witness, because if he's already signposting that he's about to do something on social media, saying, can't sit by and watch my people get slaughtered, screw your optics, I'm going in. It almost sounds like an announcement of, I want people to know what I'm doing, what my train of thought is. So might he be, might that kind of already be, I guess, a characteristic of a rather cooperative witness immediately following something like this?
Whatever perverse ideology he was an adherent to, he did not elect to martyr himself in this instance. At the end, he decided, no, I'm going to go ahead and give myself up. I mean, knowing that law enforcement was going to take him into custody. So yes, sometimes that's the case where he wants to revel in it. The news coverage is something that probably fortifies him, the horrible deed that he just did. I think law enforcement had an opportunity to probably talk to him right in the aftermath. There's some reports out now that he made some statements again, which I think contributed to the fact that the FBI moved in pretty immediately to be the lead agency on this. And then obviously it was because this has got to be a presumed hate crime.